guys, welcome back to That's Right with Crystal
and Alisa,
your favorite sister podcast where you can see black girls, black girling every week. Today, we are talking about self-care, hot topic all over the interwebs.
Feisty with this one.
Look, honestly and truly, I don't take care of myself enough, I don't feel like.
The struggle is real.
I think that taking care of myself would lead to me quitting my job.
Dang.
But
that's deep.
Okay, for real, I'll let you pop it off. Talk to me about. Well, you did. Go ahead.
I mean, honestly,
how do you take care of yourself, Alisa? Alisa, right?
I think this is a hot topic for myself and anyone out here in this world.
Not just black girls.
Not just black girls, but I think that it's important. Self-care is just important, and I know for myself, I like it. I like self-care. I do. I feel like I don't pamper myself enough.
Mm-hmm. Why is that? Do you not have time?
I think it's the time. Mm-hmm. I think it's the time. Being successful.
Hello? Talk to him. So successful. I can't take care of myself.
Or being an entrepreneur, corporate, whatever it is. You put a lot of time in the day. Mm-hmm. Being a mother, family, whatever the case it is. You put at least, like a successful person would put at least about 14 to 16 hours in a day.
Who does that? Who told you that? Where are you getting those statistics? You just make things up.
This is normal. Alisa's opinion.
Okay.
And so, 14 to 16 hours, and because this is the day, this is what I live, and I don't have that much time for self-care. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of things that I want to get into for myself. I want to get into weight loss, Don't judge me.
Judged.
Don't judge me.
Judged.
Like, we all are our own self-critics, right? Mm-hmm. And so every female has some part of them that they just want to do better, want to make better, right? And, of course, we got all these cosmetic surgery things going on. But I do feel like I want to take more time in self-care where I am exercising more.
Okay.
Not even just to get my body right, because I want to be fine all my life.
Talk to
period. And that's right. I want to be fine all my life. So it don't have nothing to do just with that. It's even the health part of it. Like, building up your cardio, just running, so that you can build your cardio up, so that you don't stroke out.
So do you want to run, or do you feel like you need to do that to make sure that you have a long life?
I do not want to run at all. No.
So that's not self-care. We're talking about self-care.
Well, no, it's mentally self-care for me, because I feel like it's something I need to do.
So, okay, cool. That's fair.
Yeah, please don't argue me that. But yeah, because I feel like it's something that I need to do. I feel like it's part of the healthy regimen. And even going into being healthy and eating healthy. I struggle in that. We don't have that much time in the day. Again, like you just was saying before, like cooking. Cooking is a major thing. I don't want to cook. Going out and trying to buy something to eat. Half of the time you're buying stuff is fast food.
Trash.
Just trying to provide a good self-care for yourself. I feel like it's been
your nails
struggle.
and toes done, so you go to the is that self-care, or is that like I just gotta do it?
No, this is self-care.
Okay, good.
Yeah, this is part of self-care. Yeah. And I can honestly say, even from that aspect of going to get my nails done, now I'm not saying that I fell at everything self-care, but there's a lot of things that I do a little bit. I do a little bit.
Okay,
yeah,
that's
but
fair.
There's a lot of things that I miss. And even with my nails, I don't go as often as I need to. You know what I'm saying? This is definitely a purpose, right? And so people sometimes have time to go get their nails done every 2 weeks. No, I'll probably be there every month.
Right. And it's hard with little kids, and that's why you have to like prioritize it. You know what I mean? Like you have to be purposeful in setting it.
Yes. And then like even makeup, like you introduced me to makeup, like, and I always used to say, and I still do.
And this
say,
how you know we're not the same age. Go ahead.
you need to stop with the age thing. Okay, I don't know why you keep doing that, because we are in the same bracket regardless of what you say.
If you have to qualify it with bracket, we're not the same age. So if you can say the sentence that we're the same age,
we are the same age.
We're not though. That's
Consider
a lie.
It done. Okay.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. I
You're
introduced you to makeup. Go ahead.
Yes, you did. Thank you. You introduced me to makeup. Like the only thing that I wore,
because you're naturally beautiful.
And you're naturally beautiful as well. Thank you so much. But I still, like, you know, going out, when you're going out late night, or you still want to change up your look sometimes, right? And so learning about how to switch yourself up, how to give yourself those dynamic, different looks, you know, that's part of self-care too. You know, that makes you feel good.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's a self-care. And I was never into makeup or learning makeup. That's a challenge. Okay. That is a challenge. I don't have enough time in the day to try to figure out what my contour powder color.
I don't even try to contour. I'm too old for that.
So you don't even do contour?
I put on some foundation.
Okay.
Some powder.
Okay.
Liner, lips, and maybe some eyeshadow some days, but
okay. Yeah. So my daily is, if I'm getting up and going somewhere, I'm not wearing makeup, but if I'm probably gonna get up and go somewhere, you gonna always see me in some blush. You gonna see me in some blush. For real. That's my favorite. Now, I rock some blush all day, every day. I don't care what the event is, but I don't know makeup. I don't do powder. I don't do foundation. I mean, I got it done now thanks to my sister, you know.
You look beautiful.
Looking good. Thank you so much.
Beautiful.
So new
Not any more beautiful than you normally look.
Thank you. But, you know, just learning more, you know, about yourself. And I don't know. That's self-care to me. Just learning more creative ways and doing more things for yourself. And I don't feel like with my schedule that I'm afforded, you know, those opportunities. I foresee it definitely in the future, because what I do see is definitely residual income, more of it.
Right.
And I'm sleeping while I'm making money. And when I get up, I'm just doing me.
Right. No, I feel you.
Yeah,
you know,
it's all self-care every day, all day.
So my whole life,
all self-care.
Taking care of myself,
massages,
taking care of other people.
Yes, yes. Massages, trips when you need to, because that's part of your mental. You know, mental health parity is really, really big nowadays. That's been the big talk.
Right.
And, you know, you have to take your time to yourself, for yourself, to take care of yourself, to pamper yourself, all that.
No,
you know,
I agree.
Yeah.
Let me think. So for me, self-care, I do self-care. So ideally, self-care would be me, again, not having a job and me being able to just lay around and just do things as I felt like doing them. But that's not my reality. And I'm very thankful that I have the ability to work and that I have the skills to work. So I don't want to, you know, put that out there.
That's right.
But I do massages. I like to go to the spa and get like full body scrubs because I like the way my body feels when I'm.
I heard about them full body scrubs. I've done it one time.
It's so amazing. So I do the full body scrubs, and I try to do that like once a month. I do my nails. That's a huge thing for me is nails. But honestly, so that's why I asked you, did you feel like nails and toes with self-care or something you have to do? I feel like I like the way it looks, right? And so, but I rarely feel just like super, super relaxed when I go in there. I do it because it's maintenance and I have to do it. Like even with my hair, when I get my hair done, I do it when it's maintenance because I have to do it, not because I am taking care of, I am trying to make sure that my mental health is great. And so for me, I'll do the spa and then vacation and shopping. So like, you know I'm a shop. So even if it's online shopping, when I start to feel like I need a moment, and it's not like I'm not a stress thing, but it's just like, I haven't taken care of myself. I go and I start, if I'm in the bed, it could be midnight, I'll wake up and I will have a cart full of stuff that I've bought, you know, or because I don't really, like to shop in the stores for real, but if I have to, but that's not self-care to me. Yeah. In-store shopping is because I need something and I need it now. Yes. I normally shop online, right? It's
an emergency.
And then eating good, that's really horrible, but that's self-care. Like that is being able to like sit down, have a really good meal, that's self-care. And then listening to music.
Ooh,
you know, that's self-care to me. But I feel like it's necessary, and I feel like you have to really, it's like we were talking about, making time for like your relationship and things like that. You have to make time to care for yourself, because when I don't, what am I, snappy? You know what I'm saying? When you're not taking care of yourself, everything else is not just about, you breaking down. Everything else around you is going to suffer. I feel like you're slower in responding at work. You're not producing the best product, and you're not going to produce the best, like you're not going to be your best self at home. And I know it sounds good. Like it sounds like, take care of yourself. But then, like you said, you got 4 kids. You have three of whom are still at home every single day. So like, what is that? How do you make time for that? Especially if you're working. Can we go back? Why are you working 14 to 16 hour days or 12 to 14 hour days? Like, what are you doing? And how are you not a billionaire having done so?
Well, it takes time. First of all,
what are you doing in 14 to 16 hours?
Hustling.
What does that look like?
Alisa, well, you should know what it looks like.
Words.
You should know what it. You should know. So you're telling me before you became a billionaire that you didn't work 14 hours a day?
I'm telling you that clearly.
I don't see how that's not possible.
Because I did not do that.
Well, let me. Okay.
And
I
now
can explain
let me say
it.
this: I'm very purposeful in working no more than 9 hour days, because I don't have that type of time to devote to anybody other than myself and my God.
Everybody's different, right? Everybody's different, to each to own.
But what is it benefiting you? What is it benefiting you?
Success, more of it, because I have an avenue of streamline of business ventures, right? You have a steady, profitable career. You have one focus, not to downgrade anything. Because
I have more than one focus, because I have my career that makes me money. I have this podcast. I have a husband. I have children. I have my husband's business.
So we haven't gotten to
God.
You know what? We haven't even gotten to the career episode or anything like that.
But what I'm saying to you is,
I have so much more to juggle other than kids. God,
you're busier than I am.
Yes.
Okay.
I am busier
if that's
than
your take on life.
Still corporate. Realtor, real estate investments. Working on e-commerce. Like, so there's still other things. I have so many hands in the pot that it requires me to devote.
How long have you been doing that?
I would say, and look, my success has been rising as fast as yours is, actually, but I would say probably about 6 months.
Okay. And I'm just trying to see if the benefit matches the, you know what I'm saying? If you're reaping what you're actually sowing in. And
That's
maybe
fine.
You're saying that you will reap in the next season.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, I'm reaping now. We already said I just bought the new luxury car.
So what happens? So if you're working a 16-hour day, how much are you sleeping?
Well, this is why we're talking about self-care too. I didn't bring that in when I start talking about self-care.
How much are you sleeping? Answer the question.
I mean, I think about 6 hours, if so, maybe.
And then how much time are you devoting to your children?
Well, I have a privilege of, being still home, present, to get some time in. But that's the thing. That's the goal. I'm trying to create a life, like I said, where money is just coming in, where I don't have to worry about.
Do you mind if I say some things?
Why would I mind? Why would I mind?
So let me say this. Okay, so here's where I am.
Look, teach me. Let me know what you need to say.
So honestly and truly, so here's where I am with it. So remember when I was, and you remember this because we were going through it together, when I was trying to learn and get my act together and try to figure out how to be successful. And,
yes.
You know what I mean? And I was experiencing a measure of success, but I wasn't as successful as I wanted to be. Blah, 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 all that crap.
Yes.
So, because this is a Christian podcast, obviously.
What? She done switched on me.
I don't know why she hates God.
Cut again. Cut. This is getting out of control.
So, anyway, Alisa, I know that you don't hate God, obviously. God loves you. He's very much in love with you. No, honestly, so for real.
Well, yeah,
so remember when I was like, oh my God, I'm working so much and I'm doing whatever. And then I was beat down and tired and had attitude.
Yeah.
So that didn't work for me.
Okay.
So what I did find, and this,
oh my God, sis, please.
Y'all know I'm gonna talk about God, and it's annoying me if I'm keeping it a stack. Like, it's really annoying me how much I'm talking about God.
I'm not opposed to it. I'm good with it.
I know that you're not, but I really just have something to say, and maybe this is a more intimate conversation, but maybe somebody else can benefit from it. So I had to stop doing that. So really the Lord was like, you need to get up. You're going to work from 8:30 to 5:30 and no more. Like that's your job, because guess what? I take care of you. And so the word of God says that he will provide all of your needs and he will bless the work of your hands and you will be successful. So I started doing that. And that's how I became $1 million company. Literally working before I was working all those hours. I had a measure of success. We talked about this.
Yes, we did.
I had a measure of success, and it was more successful than a lot of people. And then I said, okay, Lord, you're going to say this job don't take care of me, because guess what? People can decide that they're happy. Divorce could become illegal in a minute, and I have no job.
Period.
And so if I am looking to my job to be the way that I find success, that I'm taken care of, and I make this money so much that I can't take care of my mental health, then where's God? I have factored him out of the equation because I've done it myself. Unless he tells you, now let me tell you something, what I'm not going to tell you to do is do something other than what the Lord told you. So if the Lord said, Lisa, give me 6 months to do 14-hour days, and then I got you for the rest of your life for the next 2 years, that's another conversation. And so I am in no way telling you to do anything absent, that the Lord did tell you. Whatever. But for me, I have found more success in just letting go and saying, God, you're going to take care of me. Because I will tell you, just like we talked about.
And he has.
Well, and he has and will continue to. But I don't know that you need to you got kids. And I will tell you, and I'm thankful because I was not an attorney when my children were very little. So I had the ability to come home and eat with them every day, and to make sure that we watched TV together and prayed together and sang together and praised together and did all of that together, because my job just allowed me to be there, right? Yes. Now, and I tell them all the time, like, this is a God thing, because now I would never have the time to devote to them that I did. So God works things out the way that he's going to work them out. But, I went to Egypt and Puerto Rico, recently, and I took 10 days off of work, and my firm, did not earn very much money while I was gone. I was upset. Yes. But God takes care of me. Yes. Because there's a goal that I have set that I want to make, a certain amount of money that I want to make. And that is a struggle with me, because it's like, you're looking at numbers, so that's a growth thing. So I don't want anyone to take that and try to be like, oh, whatever. I'm still growing there. But that said, when I came back, that money it poured in so fast, right? And so because that's God. Because what they made, I did 4 times what they made in a few days. What they made in 10 days, I did that in just a few days. And so, that's right. And that's some people's yearly salary that I made in a few days. Yes. And so, but that's God. Yes. Right. And so that's me saying that you're going to take care of me. I don't have to. And I'm not telling people not to work, because he says, I'll bless the work of your hands. Right. But there is Psalms 1 gives you the formula for success. Blessed is the man who walks not in the counsel of the ungodly, right? Nor stands in the way of the sinners, nor sits in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law does he meditate day and night. And he will be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, who brings forth fruit in his season. His leaf will not wither, and whatever he does will prosper. The person who stands in God and meditates on his word and doesn't sit with sinners and mockers, the word of God says everything he does will prosper. Not some things, everything. And so my focus is on doing it. Again, we're not a part of the world's economy, right? Like, we're part of God's economy. So God's economy says, sit with God, take time with God. So if you're working 14, 16-hour days and you're spending 6 hours, sleeping, and then at some point you have to have time for your kids, where's God? And so, And so in doing that, like, you factored out, like, you're creating your own success. But I'm gonna tell you, God gonna make you more successful than you could ever. And I noticed from, like, right? Like, you've seen my life, and I know this from experience. So I'm not just out here telling you something just for the sake of, oh, look at me. It's like, nah, like, you will have time for self-care if you give it to God. If you allow God to lead it. And again, there may be a time that he says, give me, I don't see it, but give me 10-hour days, and I'll, do this for you for the next whatever. And by all means, you follow God first, and you test the spirit by the spirit. But I don't think that, my personal opinion, this is my little bit of advice, not trying to give you advice in your life, is to seek God, because if nothing else, you're doing those babies a disservice by not being temporarily, right? But by not being present, as present as you can. And then, like I said, you've decided to take your life on your own.
But it's so funny, because it's a twist to what you're saying, but what I understand what you're saying. I do think that God will fix all, fix all problems, and he will make it happen how it's supposed to happen. And I see it. I see it. But what I can say, and I agree with you, that he did honestly put me in a situation where I am able to do for myself. You know what I'm saying? Like from 2018, well, I would say a little bit before then, but definitely from 2018 to 2021, I worked like a slave in corporate. Do you hear me? A slave. Working way more than 16 hours. You wouldn't believe the stories that I'm trying to tell you, right? Like I had no time with my kids, with my family. Listen, it was real. It was real. And it took a minute for me to realize that this is not life. This is not where I'm supposed to be. God is telling me, move on. He's telling me, move on. I'm telling you, I'm arguing with leadership. I'm arguing with my manager, everything. Like this is not a work-life balance. This is not how it's supposed to be. I'm not getting off of work until 11, 12 o'clock at night.
That's insane.
Coming back in the morning, 8 o'clock. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. And I'm telling you, God transitioned me because I was promoted. I was promoted into a better circumstance, a better opportunity that has given me freedom. Not only allowing me to be home and work from home and things like that, but he's given me more time to spend with my kids. And I definitely appreciate that. But what I did with that time that he gave me when I got promoted and got the time is I utilized that time to build upon more success, getting the real estate license and working on investments and building an e-commerce or whatever.
What are you selling in your e-commerce?
I'm not even there yet. It's the coming soon website on right now. Right.
What are you desiring to sell?
I have clothes on there. I have bundles of hair on there. I have anything that has to do with me that I like whatever interests me. I'm putting it on there right now. But so it opened me up to be able to build, build a legacy, build for my, children. This came along.
In the spirit of self-care, are you saying that you are sacrificing your ability to take care of yourself, the way that you need to right now for the future, right? Like this is an investment that you're making.
Mentally is where I'm at and what I'm thinking. Okay. Yeah. And with what you're saying and, believing God and putting him first and him, I feel like he has done that and he is still doing that. There's so much more to come. And you and I talk about it all the time. Right. Like we know that this is just the beginning.
Right. No, I agree. So, and I agree. I think that there is I understand the whole I'm grinding now. And, I'm at this point, I'm sowing and then I will be reaping. And so that's where you are. Yeah. Yep. No, I get that. I understand that. Yeah. I don't want to do that. Yeah. I want to do as little as possible and get the best.
Exactly.
Reward. And so, and like I said, being on vacation, it was really hard to come back to work because I had like several hearings and mediations and all of that. And I have to... I want to transition away from that. But in the meantime, like I try to be very purposeful in doing 8:30 to 5:30. And if I get off later, it means like yesterday I was in a hearing until like 6 or whatever. So but I also didn't start working until later because I worked from home up until the time of my hearing. But what am I trying to say? In dealing with self-care and in looking at self-care, I want my self-care to be, and this is just me. I want my self-care to be immediate, right? Like I don't want to have to put it off because how broken down are you going to be by the time that you get there?
It's a sacrifice that I have to make because it's not there yet, and I know I'm gunning towards the future. I just see the future. I just see my vision. I just see what I want. How it comes to me, how it's given to me. I don't know.
Let me ask you this. How is not taking care of yourself affecting your home life, do you feel? Or do you feel like it's not affecting it at all?
My home life?
Like, do you feel like you're crankier or anything like that?
No, I think that I don't see any troubles.
Okay.
I don't see any troubles in my home because everybody's taken care of,
No, I guess I'm asking it wrong maybe. Like, so for me, I feel like, for instance, if I don't eat, you know what I'm saying? If I'm stressed out or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Like I may be away. Like my family's going to always be taken care of. Because that's we are mothers.
Absolutely.
That's what we do. We make sure that the house is taken care of. But how is your interaction with that environment when you are having worked 14-hour days?
Naturally, like anybody else is. I would turn into a beast if you don't feed me, right?
But not just food.
I know. I mean, I have to say food because that's the only thing that I could think of right now. But we are still talking about self-care. You know, I guess you can turn into a little bit of depression because you're not getting...
not you can. What is going on with you specifically?
I can't. I'm not saying that anything is wrong with me. You're asking, but I'm not saying that anything is wrong with me. I'm pretty complacent and I'm okay with where I'm at in life. But what I do feel like and say is that with more time, I would like to give myself more opportunity for self-care.
Okay. And I guess I'm not trying to be, you know me, I'll be the dead horse. I'll be the dead horse. So you're saying that the 14 to 16 hour days is having no effect on your interaction with your environment?
I don't see it that way.
Okay, good.
You know, I don't see it that way. I'm not
trying to elicit an answer.
I mean, of course, I want I want to cut down on my hours. Like I said, I want to wake up and don't have to do nothing to make money and whatever. Like, of course, I want that, but right now, no, I can't say that. You don't find your temper shorter. You don't find any of that. No, I don't. Good. You know, I feel like I feel like
have a goal in mind.
I have a goal in mind. You know, these are sacrifices that you have to make. It's like you know, us calling each other and talking about affirmations, waking up, writing something on your bathroom mirror just to keep you going and motivating you. So I don't run across those down times like that.
That's good.
You know, right now I'm straight in positive, straight journey focus. Like, so nothing is pulling me down. You know, I know what my purpose is in life, and that's what I'm only focused on right now. Towards that.
I think that's fair. No, I think that's good and that's fair. And that's all I was asking. I wasn't trying to like push you into a corner.
I get it.
Just like, do you find that you're engaging with your kids, you're engaging with jigs differently because now, you know, I'm tired. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because I know me. If I get too much, I tell my husband in a minute, I'm going to the spa after work. Like I'm going to the spa and he's like, okay, cool, you know. Yes. Or I want my spa or I want good food. Like I don't like cheap food. So I say I really need some good food. Yes. You know, and that helps. Yes. You know, and even down to, you know, I was in Egypt and it doesn't have to be sometimes self-care, you know, is not as a result, just is an everyday thing. It's not as a result of, oh my gosh, I've been working so much. Like you need to take care of yourself no matter what. And it shouldn't be that you get to the point of a breakdown before you're like, let me step in. Like that's what self-care is about, is to prevent that breakdown point, you know? Absolutely. And so you try to make sure that you're incorporating self-care into your everyday. And so for me, like I shop, I eat what I'm going to eat. I eat well.
Yeah, I do love to eat.
You know, and those things are like, and then I make decisions not to do things. So I used to try to do it all. Like I used to, and maybe it's easier because my kids are grown. But even as grown, my kids have been grown for quite some time. I was still coming home and cooking dinner. I was still doing brunch on the weekends. I was doing all that stuff for them and working more than I'm working now, right? And still feeling like I had to show up and be that mom. Saying no to me, let me tell you something. that is the ultimate self-care. Saying, you know, like I said, you know, a 23-year-old, 20-year-old, they'll, Mom, what's for dinner? You better figure it out. And it sounds so simple, but I know my husband, because I would be stressed and tired from work. And I'm like, you know, he's the greatest. I remember before, because I just stopped doing this maybe within the last year. Yes. But I would be like, I need some help with cooking. You're not helping me. Can you take over Tuesdays and Wednesdays? And he's like, why don't we tell the boys to like get their own food? They are grown. I could not see that. I was like, those are my babies. Yeah. I don't want to tell them, like, I need to feed them. They're living with me. They're my responsibility. I need to feed them. So he agreed. He heard that and he was like, okay, I'll do Tuesdays and Thursdays. So instead of saying, you know, these grown men need to fend for themselves, he was like, okay, if you do these days, I'll do these days. And so when he stuck to that, I have literally fallen off and told them to fend for themselves. Yes. But But that has given me like so much joy just in saying, no, I can't. And people who, need things. Sometimes people just need things. And what I have for you most of the time is prayer if I'm busy, but just being able to say, no, I'm not going to be able to attend. I used to try to be at everybody's everything, right? And so, and not on some, well, they won't come to mind, because maybe they do come to mind. But I don't. Getting out of feeling like I owe someone something just as part of being in my family, my friend, my circle, or the fact that you did something for me before, and being able to say, no, I can't be a part of that. I would like to, or sometimes I don't, hey, I'll send you this money, but I might not be at the party or whatever. That has really helped me, because I used to not be like that. I used to say, well, they came to my kids' thing, I'm going to go to their kids' thing. And sometimes I make sacrifices. It just depends on the situation. Sometimes I'm tired and I'll make a sacrifice, but that is a conscious decision I've made, not out of feeling like I owe someone something. And so taking care of myself is like, what would you rather be doing? So I ask myself those questions, like, is this something you want to do, or is this something you feel obligated to do? Other than, like, obviously we have to feel obligated to work, but other than, if this is something that is supposed to be recreational, but I find nothing fun in it, then I don't want to do it. Yeah. Right. Absolutely. And I've learned to be able to say, I can't be a part of that today without being nasty or whatever. I'm not going to be there. I'll, send a donation or whatever. But I can't take that on right now. So that for me, is self-care. That massages, travel, shopping. But the everyday no is someone asked me to take over a case for them, and I probably could have, but I was just like, my time allowed for it, but I just came out of cases all week. Yeah. I take over a hearing, a final hearing. I just came out of hearings all week. I'm going into another week of hearings. And yes, I would have made good money doing it, and it would have been a one-day thing, quick money, whatever. But I was like, I will be stressed doing this. And if this is going to add to stress, it's okay to say no. Yes, absolutely. And so I think self-care is important. I think that people, and I mean, obviously we're on this whole move of self-care, and people are now meditating and candles and all that. And I think all of that is really, really beautiful. And I think that it comes with, and that's what I was saying earlier, like not letting yourself get so far to where you're broken down, because how much care are you going to need when you wait 6 months, when you say, and not to you, just to people in general, when you say, I'm going to do this grind, and I'm just not going to think about the fact that I'm breaking down and I'm tired and I'm stressed, because there is something at the end of it. And then it's like, okay, but can you enjoy it? Because now you got 6 months of your body broken down, 6 months of I'm sleepy, 6 months, you know what I mean? Because you stretch, and then you're stretched so thin, you get it, and then what?
That's not recommended. Okay. That's not recommended. That's not really totally what I'm saying. Even with it being 6 months, I'm still saying know when to pull away. Right? No, know when to not get yourself. And that's why I said, like, I'm not talking to you, but people do that, right? Exactly. Like people get up and it's just like rise and grind. I don't know until they drop. 2008. I don't know if they're still saying it now, but they're up and they're doing it and they're working. They're like, I have a goal, and then you get to this goal, and then what? Like now you have the money, now you have the position, and I'm gonna tell you something. There's more work with money. Yeah, there is. When I was taking my sabbatical after I passed the bar, I remember not working and just taking care of the home or whatever. And I remember like I wanted to be giving back. I wanted to be, making my own money or whatever. And I didn't. I begrudged that situation so greatly because I wasn't doing what I thought I should be doing. But now when I look at my life and I look at how busy I am, I'm more like, I like to take the moments. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. And I look, and it's funny because I walk away from work. Attorneys are working at least 12-hour days. Yes. I did, and won't do it again. Making more money now than I was when I'm working less days. But that's I do. Right. Sometimes, I walk away and I'm like, oh my gosh, I could just draft this motion real fast and get it sent in. I'm like, it'll be here at 8:30. Because if I drop dead today trying to without taking care of myself, then ain't now motion gonna be filed. Absolutely. Right, this whole thing gonna shut down if I can't be alive to do it. Yeah. And so, just to people who are out there grinding, it's like, but grinding is necessarily grinding you down, right? It's not just when you're beating the pavement with what?
The thing that you're using to beat is your body. It's your power. It's, you know what I mean? And so sometimes your no is enough. Sometimes sleep, everybody don't like to go to the nail salon and do a thing. Yeah. But and me too. Like, I love The Office. I am a fanatic for the show. Like, my kids bought me, what do you call that? Like the Peacock to watch The Office because they took it off Netflix. And so Peacock, I watch Peacock and I watch The Office or whatever. And that's more self-care. And I stop and I sit back when I feel myself, even feel like I'm worked too hard, my mental capacity is strained. I stop and I say, do something that makes you happy. Yes. And that's so a good one. I stop and I think, and I try to keep it away from candy because candy makes me happy. So I try to be, even on the healthier side, like what makes me happy. Watching The Office makes me happy. Shopping makes me happy. Spending time with my family, being around them makes me happy. And so you get a little dose of that and then you can go on, for a little bit longer. But I do believe that if everything is the grind, if everything is a chase for money or a chase for love or a chase for status, right? Like, by the time you reach the point that you can provide yourself with the most basic form of self-care, you need much more than the most basic form. You need way more than just, a Starbucks and an Office episode, right? You need a lot of times like therapy because
this ain't therapy.
No, because you haven't taken care of yourself.
That's true though.
Yeah, you haven't. And I know that from experience, not from outside looking in. I don't know what anybody's doing with their life, but I know what it felt like when I was in this rat race, running, trying to, and I don't even want to say trying to make $1, but I was chasing success, right? And success is not elusive. That's the, how I feel. Success is not elusive. It's not something I have to chase down. I can position myself and have success come to me. But it's about that positioning and it's about being where success is, right? And so, and I think that if you position yourself well, I think that you will get what you're looking for. And even down to... I
agree with that, definitely.
Yeah. Like even, and it goes back to God. And I think about, my husband buying his truck, right? Like, and it being $30,000 cheaper than what it was supposed to be, right? I didn't get a better credit score. I didn't get more money. I was positioned and it came to me. Same thing with the bar. I didn't do anything. I didn't study for the bar, right? Like I could have broken all that down. I was positioned and it came to me. Down to like clients. So I hired an advertising firm. I was making great money on my own. Laura said, hire an advertising firm. I hired an advertising firm. I haven't had to do anything other than pay them monthly. But I've positioned myself for success to come to me. And so I think that takes me out of chasing success down and puts me in a position of I'm standing here, come get me.
That's right.
And it has. And I think it's just a mindset, it's a mentality. And you know what? It sounds good when you're successful.
Definitely so. Yeah, amen. That's
sounds
right.
Good when you're already successful.
That's right.
I don't know. But that's what faith is, though.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's what you got to start somewhere, because I know when I was not successful, when I was, really didn't have a lot of money, I don't know how I would have felt if someone had told me this, but that I came from having no money and I have been blessed with divine faith and been able to see it work in my life. I'm like, I don't want anybody else to have to sacrifice their ability to take care of themselves chasing success when success isn't made to be chased.
That's what this is all about right now.
Right.
You telling me this because you don't want me to chase.
I don't. Why would you? Because it's here.
Yep.
Like, why would you? I want the best for you,
Absolutely.
right? Like, that. Absolutely. I want the best for people. But as my sister, I don't want you working like that. That troubles me that you're working 14 to 16-hour days and you have my nephews that would like to play with their mom. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I get
there is balance, because the father's still around. He's still there. He does his part. He cooks.
But that ain't mama.
But no, we already talked. We know. Yeah, we know the mama.
And so, but it's just. I mean, and it troubles me for you, but you know how I also feel about people. And if it's funny because people who knew me before, who it's funny how people are. So people who knew me before will say like, everything you prayed for, like you're walking in, right? And I don't understand how you got there, and we were praying at the same time, and you know, whatever. But I trusted God. I really trusted God to be who he said he would be. And I didn't get ahead of God. And so it didn't always feel good. And let me tell you why it didn't feel good. It didn't feel good because I couldn't control the outcome. Because we, by nature, want to we think we can control it. We think if we do this, it's going to work out as this. That's why we fall into a depression when it doesn't work out the way we thought it could work out, because we have been told that we control, like,
I get it.
We can work hard enough to get a result.
That's right.
The result, that's not real though.
That's
right. And so I have found in my life that my success is not a result of my hard work. I have worked hard and gotten a measure of success, but I have believed hard and become like where I am now. And so people will say like, oh, I want money, or oh, I want this, or oh, I want that. And I'm like, I am a magnet for those things, not even on some weird crap, but on some like, because I know how to go about getting without extreme stress. You know what I'm saying? But that's, I'm new to it still. Like, this is the last couple of years. This is not, oh, I've lived like this. Obviously, I've been poor, very, very poor, you know, but it's like, it's, I am new to, I don't have to do it that way. I wasn't designed for that. The word of God says, my yoke is easy, my burden is light. And he said, he will bless the work of your hands. He will cause things to come unto you. All you have to do is believe, right? Now, there's also a level of work. Like, to pass the bar, God didn't just say, like, don't study. He's like, pray. And so that's what I did. You know what I mean? And even down to when I wanted more success for my business, all he told me to do was get an advertising firm. And then I got so successful, and he was like, hire somebody. And then I've hired someone. And so it's taking a lot of stress off me. Now I'm in position of, and I'm talking about an associate. I already had staff, but now I have another attorney working for me. But it hasn't been a lot of, I can't do it. Cause I'm tired from working 8:30 to 5:30 because I'm old, and I really would like to work 8 to 12. Like, I would like that to be my life. Or 8 to 9 a.m. But
that's where it's at. That's right.
I don't have it in me to rise and grind and to whatever. I want to live a good life. And I think the word of God says, you know, you will see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. I think that that's already promised to us. And so, but I think that if we separate ourselves from God and take God out of the equation, then yes, you're going to experience success because you will reap what you sow. And if you were sowing, you know, this hard work and all of that, I believe that I don't think you can work hard and not see a result. I don't.
Yeah, absolutely. Exactly.
I don't think you can do that.
That's right. Exactly.
But I also think that you can sow a seed and let God multiply it, and he'll do bigger than you ever imagined. And I'm a walking witness of that.
And I agree with you on that.
I know that you do. No,
I definitely agree with you on that.
And I know sometimes it's like a faith thing.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, well, before you got to where you're at and you set yourself up in that position is somewhat where I am at in a lot of some of the world too. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're speaking at an angle right now of success, right? But mentally, you still somewhat had to work hard and position yourself and get yourself where you are today. Like, I feel like the Lord has to see your passion and see that you're trying to, in order to even grant you that grace.
No, and I don't disagree. But what I'm saying is, like, you know how people say, like, I did it so you don't have to. And so what I'm more saying is I did all that. And I got the most success when I did very little.
Okay.
And so that's what I'm saying. I did that. And I'm not going to tell you that yielded me anything. But when God said, hey, why are you working 8:30 to, coming home 8 o'clock at night? Like, why are you doing that? And I'm like, I'm trying to, and I want to be a good steward, Lord. I want to be, you gave me this business. I want to do right by it.
Yes.
And I believe that. So I wasn't trying to factor God out of the what was going on. I believe that he gave me this and I was going to show him that I'm a hard worker. And he was like, I got it. I gave it to you and I got it. Do this. Now, he didn't tell me to stop working. He said I have to work 8:30 to 5:30.
Yeah.
Right? Like I have to, and I work 8:30 to 5:30, no lunch break. I work from the time I go in until the time I leave. I work all day. So I am not in any way saying God gave me license to just lay around. He might. Yeah. I'm not saying he won't do that, right? But it's not I don't work on the weekends. Attorneys are working on, my clients messaging me on the weekends because they're expecting me to work on the weekends.
In that industry too.
And because that's what people do.
Yeah,
so you have $1 million business, but you put in, 80 hours a week to do that, right? Like that's not my story because my God is who he says he is. But I did all of that, trying to, and that's what happened with the bar. Like I was like, I'm going to study so hard. Lord, you gave me, because I got into law school. I'm going to tell this and tell it straight, with a 2.9 GPA.
That's what's up.
Lord told me to go to law school, and I went to law school, and and this is how I walk in miracles. There was no reason I should have gotten to law school with a 2.9 GPA, but I walk in miracles. Yes. And so when I got out, I was thankful, and this is when I was like on my journey to God because I was competing with that girl. And I said, I'm going to show you, Lord. I'm going to show you that I'm going to work really hard and I'm going to pass this bar. And they told you to study 13 to 14 hours a day. And I said, I'm going to study that time. God said, if you'll just pray. And he did it for me. And so I am not of the mindset that it takes all of that. But may it be done to you according to your faith, because that's Bible.
Yes.
And so if your faith is, God is going to bless the work of my hands and I'm going to work 16 hours a day, then God's going to bless the work of your hands working 16 hours a day, because he's going to meet you, and that's according to your faith. And so my urging is to increase your faith.
The moral to the story at this point.
And that way you access more of an ability to take care of yourself, because my faith is at such a point that I don't want to have to work. I want to be able to take a 10-day vacation. The Lord said, don't work on this. This is the first time I ever took a vacation and didn't work.
Yeah, the first time.
The first time. And I have been working for a very long time. This is the first time I ever took a vacation and I did not work. I opened my computer, that thing was dead. I was like, wow, I have not worked. And then to come back and for God to I take care of you. Not working, and look at how I poured that money back into you. Right? And so again, I did that so that my testimony is something that you can build on and you can test. And it's a testimony. And so, and I'm very thankful for that testimony. Like I am very thankful that my testimony is such that you see it, right? Like I did it and you see it, and I look like you. I'm quintessential Black girl doing Black girl stuff. Ain't done the best things in my life. This is not like I have from the womb been right.
100%
I have
perfect.
I ain't even been 20% perfect. I have been wrong and bad, and God has seen fit to make sure that I have faith and to access that faith. And I know that my charge is to make sure that other people are able to access it, because I promise y'all, this is not a Christian podcast. But I would say this, you have no time for God's people and to help God's people if you are spending your entire day making sure that you're successful. God said, you take care of my people, I take care of you. And so I would have no time I do ministry at church, right? Like, so, and it's so funny because I was working so hard. Before this, I was tired. And I was like, Lord, I can't do it. I'm going to cut ministry out. This is
typical, though.
This is typical. I was like, I'm going to cut ministry out. I can't do it. I'm so tired. And I called the girl who's over the ministry that I do. And I was like, hey, I texted her. I was like, hey, I'm not going to do it anymore. Like, decided upon myself. I'm not doing that anymore. I have to work. And she was really sweet, really gracious. Thank you. And then the Lord said, who told you to cut that out? And I was like, I'm tired. Like, I work so much. Stop working.
Something out.
Because I called you to do this for my people, right? Like, I will take, and so sometimes your ministry is your family. You know what I mean? And so most times, first, let me say this, all the time your ministry is your family, right? And so if I'm not giving my husband my best, and he's having to, and my husband is understanding, but if he's having to always understand because, hey, you get it. Look at this nice house we're in. Look at these nice cars we drive. Look at this vacation we just left. Like, you should be appreciative of that. And where's the time?
Where's the time?
And so I just, my prayer for everyone, not just you. Of course, my prayer for you with success is that you just allow God to be God.
Allow God to be God.
Yeah. He's going to take care of you. He said he will provide all of your needs according to his riches and glory, not according to how much you work. Not that you should not work. Please, y'all don't quit your jobs. You know what I'm saying?
Please don't quit your jobs.
Because I go work every day, right? But he said he would. It's not according to that, right? But that's according to. Yes. And let me qualify that scripture because I hate when people take that scripture out of context. Before that, the Lord was talking about giving.
Yes.
And so with the measure that you give, you can count on God to supply your needs. You don't get to hold your hand like this and be like, God, supply my needs. That's why you got to work so hard because your hand held. But if you give, then God can supply your needs. They work together. I hate when people quote it out of context. But, anyway, you know that I love you with my whole heart.
That's all I was saying in my head. Like, I love you.
I do. I love you so much. You. And I want goodness for you. Because I've lived not goodness. Not because I'm so much better and holier than thou. But like I have been poor.
Yes.
I have been poor. And I have had a measure of success and not been happy. Right? So you can, I'm not saying that poverty is the only time you're unhappy. No, I've had money.
Success and not,
and been so stressed trying to maintain the success. Oh my God, I can't go back down to here. I have to work so hard to maintain this success. And then God gonna take care of me or I ain't gonna get taken care of because what I'm not gonna do is this all day.
Yeah, because it has to be faith. It really has
to.
It does because they do say with more money comes problems.
Yes.
But if you have that
to whom
faith,
much is given, much is required. It's not necessarily problems. People put it into problems because they can't match what is required of them. And what is required of them is more of a dependence on God. So you want to get all of this and then you want to take it and say that this is my thing and I've got it. But you are required to depend on God to find out what to do with that much. But people get the much and then they run off on their own.
Yes. That's right. Talk to him, sis.
Anyway.
Talk to him, sis.
All right.
Oh my goodness.
I love you.
God,
so we're going to do self-care and
we
are going to take care of ourselves and we're just going to try to get in our word and just work less.
Yes.
Work less.
Get in your word and work less.
And give more and give more of ourselves to God's people and to the world and bring more people into God's economy. That's what I'm about, God's economy.
Oh my God.
All right. Thank you for joining our Christian podcast.
Yes, this definitely is a Christian podcast at this point. I've been hustled.
Oh my God.
I've been bamboozled.
Oh my God. No, we really appreciate y'all for being on That's Right, looking at Black Girls, Black Girl.
Yes.
And so we'll see y'all next time.